Welcome back to another video, guys. I'm Alan.
And I'm Jess. We've been on the road for over 3.5 years now.
Yep, and more often than not when we meet people and online, we get lots of questions in regards to funding our travels and our adventures and how we've managed to continue for the time frame that we have.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So we thought we'd put out a quick little video about work, how we find it, where we find it, when we find it, all that sort of gear.
What we do.
What we actually do.
Yep.
Yep, very valid point. And I think towards the end of it, we're going to answer off some questions for you guys as well that you've sent in via social media for us.
Yeah. We will probably touch a little bit on our funds and how we save and budget and things like that, but not a lot.
Yeah, we won't go into specific dollars because, well, our dollar amounts are our dollar amounts. But everybody's amounts are different as well. So that's one of the things to bear in mind. For the sake of argument, our expenditure each week, you're probably going to call it an average of about $1,000 a week when we're on the road moving around and stuff.
More often than not, we are actually under that amount, but that's just what we budget for those things, those unexpected things that do occur. The things we may need that we don't normally need, new tyres or a car service here and there, registration, insurance, whatnot. So yeah, we do budget for $1,000 a week. Yeah.
We don't actively track it and actively budget for it. We just know that we basically have a certain amount into the bank account and that sort of thing, and then we watch that as it goes down, and that'll touch on one of the first reasons why we stop and get work. We need money. Yeah. It's as simple as that. The world just doesn't go around without money.
No, it doesn't.
We would love to say that we're self-funded in the sense of savings or money generated online or anything like that, but we're not. We have to stop and work just like everybody else out there that works from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 or anything other than that. That's just how it is. Yep. Quick little bit of background. Jess, what's your work history?
I'm a physio by trade, essentially.
Yep. And myself, hospitality, forklift work, massage therapy, done some warehouse stuff, worked for a couple of supermarkets, a little bit of all sorts, jack of all trades, master of none, as they say, which is fine by me. So finding work, we do it, so like I said, the first reason is bank account starts to run low and we need to top it up.
And the other reason is travel fatigue.
Yes. So for people that have travelled for a long period of time, you'll understand when we say about travel fatigue. As amazing as it is that we get to do what we do, and we're not complaining, we absolutely love it. We do sometimes get to the point where we're tired, exhausted.
For example, if we go to one of the most beautiful beaches that we would have ever seen, and we go, oh, it's just another beach. It's cool, but it could be the most beautiful day. Yep. And we say that, well, we know it's time to stop to work.
Yeah, and it basically allows us that time to regenerate, rejuvenate ourselves and get re-excited and reignited to get back out there and start travelling again and exploring new things. But travel fatigue is very, very much a real thing. It is quite exhausting. There's not a lot of days where we actually just sit down and not do a lot. Because we're normally off going for a swim, go for a hike, go for a drive, go do something. You're always sort of on the move and always planning and adventuring and stuff, which, again, please, we love it. We would not change it for the world. No. But sometimes we have to stop and pick up work to get us back into the mood to continue travelling and adventuring. So travel fatigue is a very, very real thing.
Another reason why we do stop for work is to get off the road during school holidays.
Yes.
A lot of the time.
Yes. So coming up towards the end of this year, when it comes into school holidays for Christmas and all that sort of thing, we will most likely stop and pick up work, mainly to get off the roads, top up a bank account, reignite ourselves, and also to help out some other businesses that might be short on staffing. And also because at that time of the year, there is always an abundance of jobs available.
Yeah. Now,
when it comes time for Jess to work, I'm going to let you have a talk about how you find some physio jobs and that sort of thing.
So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just get in touch with some recruitment agencies. I have a few people that I do like to get in contact with. I just send an email and say, look, I'm in this kind of area looking for work. Is there anything available? That's the first way I would go about it. The other way is also just looking on Indeed or Seek or something like that, I look at the job opportunities on there. Or the third way is I will just look at what private practices are in the area. I'm mainly a private practice physio, so I look at which ones are in the area, and then I may send an email just to say, look, I'm in the area, looking to be in the area for X amount of weeks. Do you need any cover for physio? So that's realistically how I would go about it.
Yeah, and it's kind of good. So when Jess does go to a private practice or anything like that, if there is somebody that's going out on maternity leave or somebody that's been questioning whether or not to take some annual leave, it'll allow them to be able to take that time off and have an extra physio in the practice to be able to cover for those few weeks and that sort of thing. When we do go for a job, we are always upfront and honest and transparent about the fact that we're not going to be in the area forever. You know, if we know we're going to be somewhere for 2 months or something like that, we will let them know straight off the bat. So then when it does come time for us to leave, we can. Yep. And there's no awkwardness about it, no strange feelings about it or anything like that. Just because Jess is a physio, though, doesn't mean that that's all she does on the road.
No. I'm more than happy to do whatever.
Yep. Yeah, so some of the stuff that we've actually done on the road is supermarket work, bottle shop work, general hospitality work, like bar work and that sort of thing. I was at the Darwin Sailing Club for a little while, which was awesome.
Caravan park.
And caravan park work. Now, the reason we want to mention that one is because that's probably one of my favourite to actually stop and do for a few different reasons. One reason is obviously more often than not when you do caravan park work, you get accommodation provided as part of your package, because usually finding a job is quite simple. It's finding accommodation that's affordable in the area that you're going to find a job that's hard. So caravan park work is spot on for that. Mm-hmm. Jess has done reception and admin in caravan park, and I've done grounds work.
Housekeeping as well.
But I actually really enjoyed the grounds work. I got to just scoot around and mowing the lawn all day, moving sprinklers around and all that. I was in my element. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. How we go about finding jobs otherwise as well. Look, if you know that you're coming into an area, you can obviously ring ahead or send emails in with a resume and that sort of thing. But we've found more often than not, you're just another person, then you're just a digital thing, you're just an email, you're not really real, so to speak. So if we come into a town, we've always got some resumes printed off ready to go. So we'll actually go straight into the caravan parks or anything like that, hand the resumes straight in person. You're like, this is Jess, I'm Alan, we're here for this long, have you got any work? Then you're real, you're there, you're current, you're, not
it's harder to say no to someone in person as well.
Yeah, it is much harder to say no to somebody in person, for sure. And then obviously you do get chatting to the people as well. So if they might not have any work going there at the time, because we normally pick smaller towns as well, by the way. We try to avoid bigger towns and bigger cities and stuff like that. We like working in smaller towns.
Yeah.
And everybody knows everybody as well. So if there is a job going in a different business, they'll at least be able to point you in the right direction towards where to go, which is always super handy.
It is very handy.
If you're looking to get a job in an area that you don't have any experience, that is fine. People will still hire you if you've got the willingness to learn.
Yeah, pretty much. They are willing to teach you.
Yep.
More often than not.
100%. The first caravan park that we did, we had no idea what we were doing going into that, and they just took us under their wing and taught us everything we needed to go.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Another way we find work is if we know we're going to be in a certain town, we go on Facebook and we put up a post in, say, a community notice board, or look at pages where jobs are in the area, and we just say who we are, that we're looking for jobs for this amount of time. We write a bit about our experience and who we are.
Yep.
And just put it out there.
100%. And I think one of the first times we actually did that was in Kununurra. Mm-hmm. It was a couple of years ago now, but we did that in Kununurra. We found it was called the Kununurra Community Forum. It was a Kununurra community Facebook page.
I think it was community notice board.
Yep. And we literally, just as Jess just said, posted our details and whatnot in there, and within sort of half an hour there would have been 10 different replies on there. And not that we can afford to be picky finding work, but it did enable us to sort of settle it down and find out what we wanted to do, which was really handy. Really handy. People have asked us before about whether we come back into a town that we've been to before and pick up work that we've done there before. So far, I think you've done that once with Physio.
Oh, yeah, in Adelaide.
Back in Adelaide, I think you did that once for Physio. But generally speaking, we don't. We try new things and experience new things, but we always, again, we leave on good terms with where we have worked.
Well, we try to.
We try to. We do try to. So the offer has always been there, you know, like if we ever do come back into an area, they're like, if you ever come back, please let them know. And then they'll see if they can fit us back onto the roster, which is always super, super, super handy.
Sometimes when we do look for work, we do look in places where we want to explore further, essentially. So,
if we're going to be working 5 days a week and we've got 2 days off, we'll try to use those 2 days to go out and explore and still travel around and do that sort of thing.
That hasn't really happened yet, though.
The thought is there and the idea is there, but putting it into practice sometimes is a little bit harder.
It is harder because especially when, say, Alan does hospitality, which is more often than not weekend work and nights.
Yep.
And if I get Physio, then I'm more weekdays and a little bit nights.
Yeah.
Less weekend work. So
lining up our days off can sometimes be a bit difficult, but again, that's just sort of part and parcel of it. We've just got to kind of go along with that. But yes, that is one of our ideas, is to find somewhere that we want to explore, base ourselves there, work and explore on days off, but sometimes doesn't quite work.
That hasn't worked so far.
But the idea is there. As I was talking about before, with accommodation being the harder part to find, or at least affordable accommodation being the harder part to find, we also try to tee our work up with doing house sitting and that sort of thing. So we will look ahead to the town that we're going to be in on the school holidays period. There's more often than not people that are looking for house sitters, so we'll approach them and say, look, we'll look after your house sit it, and that type of thing. That way we've got free accommodation whilst working, if we can't find caravan park work or something. So that's always just a super handy way to do it. Now, social media, company affiliations and all that type of thing, so online revenue. We're not big, we're not famous, we're not all that sort of stuff. We're just us. We're just Alan and Jess from ExploreOz. We do have a couple of companies that we work with, and we work closely with them, but it's not a case of making massive amounts of profit out of it for ourselves. We try to do it more so to help the company out and provide exposure for them. If we get anything in return for it, that's just a bonus. It's not how we go about it, why we go about it, and we're not going to just go out and email or try to contact any company out there. We're selective about who we do want to work with. Sort of got to match our ethos in regards to their reasons why their business exists. If you are wanting to get into social media and working with company affiliations and stuff like that, the easiest way is already use the company's product. Don't just email companies off the random cuff that you've never bought from or anything like that, because that's just rude. And companies know that. They won't want to work with somebody if you've never used their product and all of a sudden you're like, oh, we want to work with you. But that said, if there is a company that you want to work with, send them an email, get in contact with them, and the worst thing that they can say is no. That's it. They can say no and then provide reasons as to why they do or don't want to work with you, and then you can move forward from there. So it's not a difficult thing by any stretch. We've got a few questions to cover off that you guys have sent in to us from socials. I think they're all on Jess's phone.
They are.
So we're going to cover off a few of these, unless there's anything that we've missed so far.
I don't think so.
Don't think so. If there was, some of these questions we'll probably cover it anyway.
Alrighty, question number 1. So it's a 2-part question.
Okay.
So, got a couple of young kids now, so just wondering if you think it would be possible with kids. And also, do you work in one area or job for a while, or is it more of following the work or actually just doing lots of different small jobs?
Kind of all of the above, to be honest. Do I think it's doable with small kids? Yes, 100% I do. So the roads and the industry and everything like that is absolutely full of travel families. They are absolutely everywhere and they're loving life. We don't know how they do it because we don't have kids, but they still do. They still survive and they still adventure and go on all the missions that they do. We know a couple of people that, for example, the mum is a hairdresser and the husband is actually a mechanic, and he does servicing of caravans and that sort of thing in caravan parks, and the mum does haircuts and all that sort of thing. So then they can base themselves in a caravan park for a little bit of time. Everybody can come to them. They don't need to worry about where the kids are or what the kids are doing because everybody's local. And the other one is we know a family whose dad does FIFO. So he does 2 on, 2 off, and he will actually go away, do his 2 weeks off whilst the wife and kids are in a caravan park, and they just spend their time there for that 2 weeks. When he comes back, they'll hit the road for 2 weeks and go end up somewhere else and adventure and whatnot for those 2 weeks. So it's definitely doable. What was the other? I think that was, do we stay in areas for long? Usually about 2 months. 2 months is sort of around about the maximum that we normally spend.
2 to 3, yeah.
It's by that sort of point that we're like, need to get going now.
Yeah.
Need to get back on the road, need to get back adventuring and exploring again.
Let's be honest. It's normally after the first week of working that we go, all right, I'm done.
You know how we said about travel fatigue being a real thing? It is, but that's, yeah.
It comes back, goes away pretty soon after working.
It does. As soon as you start looking at everybody else's pretty adventures and what they're doing, we're like, I want to get back out and get going again. But yes. All right, next one. I'm going to read to you. Hey guys, we would like to know where you find jobs. Is it through word of mouth or certain sites? As you know, we are full-time from January. It would be nice to have some avenues to look in.
So we've pretty much touched on that one.
Yep.
We do go in person.
Yep.
We do hear from word of mouth. It just depends on where we are. Often it's who we talk to.
Yep.
So we could talk to someone in a shop and they'd go, oh yeah, such and such is looking for work, or they were a week ago.
Actually got Jess a physio job once by complete random. I got talking to a lady in a caravan park, and she turned around and said, well, I actually manage 3 physio practices, and does Jess want to come and work for us for 6 weeks? So it was literally just a case of chatting to people.
Yep.
But yes, word of mouth, notice boards, Facebook. There's a Facebook group called Working on the Road Australia. Look that one up as well. There's plenty of people in there advertising for staff and vice versa.
Oh, there's heaps of Facebook pages.
There is. We'll list a few of them down in the description below.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right, what's the next one?
Have you guys found yourselves getting too comfortable somewhere and staying far longer than you thought you would, and had the feelings of security creep in to make you think about staying longer?
Yes. We have definitely done that before, where we're humans, we're creatures of habit. We fall into routine and all that sort of stuff pretty quickly.
More than Alan.
Yeah. So we've definitely found ourselves before, when we first got somewhere or first taken up work or anything like that, being like, we're going to be here for 6 weeks, that's it. And then 10 weeks later, we're still there. And it's not through any other reason than just routine and stability and all that sort of stuff. Jess loves having stability in her life.
Just does she?
Jess loves having stability in her life. And it's one of those things where it can be hard to break out of routine and break out of habit and get back out onto the road. But it's once we do hit the road again that we go, God, why did we stay for so long? But yes, complacency, routine, stability, all of that creeps in pretty easily. Yeah. Bob and Elsa. How you doing, Bob and Elsa?
Hi, guys.
We'll be looking for work at the end of the year. My wife has been working in packaging shed and I have a forklift ticket. We're looking for some husband and wife work. Maybe you can shed us some ideas.
Pretty much with those characteristics or job descriptions, you could do anything.
100%.
People will take you on with a forklift ticket, 100%.
Go out to plantations and that sort of thing and say, hey, look, I've got my forklift ticket and I'm willing to work outside and go pick some fruit and stuff. Elsa has done packaging and whatnot. I'm sure she could do fruit packaging and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What was one of your latest jobs?
I worked at Woolworths.
Yep.
Hey, it pays the bills.
Certainly does.
And I didn't mind it.
Night fill at supermarkets actually pays really quite well for what it is, so don't
knock it.
Don't knock it till you try
it.
But yeah, like caravan park work, plantation work, supermarket work, just anything really. There are jobs everywhere for it doesn't matter what your experience really. No. Again, as we said before, willing to learn, willing to be taught, you'll go anywhere and do anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Is it worth getting sponsorship deals or becoming brand ambassadors nowadays with how flooded the social market seems to be?
Yes. I still believe that there is room in the social media market and online presence and all that sort of thing for new upcoming faces and all that sort of thing. Everybody's got a different take on marketing and how they would advertise products and all that sort of thing. But the biggest thing is you have to be genuine about it. You can't just start marketing for anybody you please or anything like that. You've got to show the fact that you are genuine about that business and that company. And it will come through in footage as well, in photos and videos and stuff. If you are genuine about something, it shows. You can see it. If you're just doing it for the bottom line and for the dollar, that will also show as well. But yes, sponsorships, brand affiliations and stuff, there is still plenty of room. And again, as I said earlier, if you're wanting to work with a particular business, shoot them an email. They'll either say yes or no, but let's work towards it. And this is how we can go about getting it. Right, next one. What does life look like when Alan and Jess are 70 years old? Wrinkly.
Wrinklier versions of this.
Yeah.
A lot greyer.
Greater, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't even know what next week's going to look like for us, let alone in that long a time, to be honest.
Well, hopefully it's a long time away.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, I have never thought about it, to be honest. Have you?
Yep. No. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. No, we don't know what our future holds. We don't know where we're going to be or what we're doing or anything like that. And that's just how we love our life. Yes, Jessa loves her stability in life. Me less so. I'm spontaneous, off the cuff. Let's go. Let's have some fun and adventure. But whatever we do, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
We'll be together still.
Essentially. No, we would be. Sorry.
Feeling the love here, guys. Feeling the love.
Bit personal, this one.
Sure.
How much do you really make off your awesome YouTube videos? And how can we, as your supporters, help you make more?
Good old YouTube revenue is based on your views and how many people interact with your videos and all that sort of stuff. We do donate 10% of our ad revenue every month to a charity that we pick out at the start of the month. So if you want to know how much we're actually earning each month off of YouTube, you can look through our community posts, you can look through our social media and stuff like that. You'll see it's 10%. Do the math and you'll see how much we get. It is not enough to make a living from.
Not for us, no.
It's just an extra carton of beer or a tank of fuel or something like that, which is super, super handy and we love it.
But in saying that, when we started YouTube, it was never meant to actually make us money.
No,
well, I didn't think it was.
No.
It was always just a blog of our adventures and to try and help you guys with your own adventures.
Yeah, we just wanted to share our adventures and our stories and inspire you guys to get out there and do more as well.
Yeah, and live life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and second part of that, obviously, thank you for supporting us and thank you for watching us. We really, really do appreciate it. If you do want to support us further, please just watch the ads through the YouTube episodes. And if you do want to go one step further, we do have a Patreon platform as well, which is linked down below. You can always jump over there and join us on the Patreon platform, which we would be forever grateful for.
Always.
Ooh. This one's going to be for you, not me, I reckon. Do you worry about the long-term future regarding superannuation, getting back into the real estate market, investing in the long-term gain, not having a nest egg, as they say?
I suppose, yes. It's always at the back of your mind. Super, well, obviously, if you don't work much, you don't get much super unless you want to make your own contributions.
Yep.
Yeah. Real estate, well, we were never in the market in the first place, so we were renting.
Yeah, we were renting a property before we left Adelaide.
Ideally, in an ideal situation, we would have already had a property and had been renting it out.
Yep.
But no, we didn't have either of that. So
everybody's circumstances are different when they first head out on the road, whether it be short-term or long-term or anything like that. We know people that have sold their houses and that's how they're funding their travels. We know other people that still own their house and they're renting it out, so they're actually getting a mortgage paid off doing it that way.
I don't think we really worry about our future. That's the worst part. We live for the now.
Yes.
And the future is the future. So whatever happens,
whatever comes, bring it on. We'll figure it out when it happens.
Yeah.
That's 70-year-old Alan and Jess. We'll figure it out as we go.
We'll work it out. How much did you start with 3.5 years ago? And how low do you let your savings get before you hit the we gotta stop and work now button?
The oh crap button. We didn't go out with a set amount in the bank account because we knew that we were going to just be going for as long as we wanted. So we knew we were going to be stopping every now and again for work.
I don't think we knew. I think it was always in the back of our minds that was probably what was going to happen.
It wasn't going to be a case of go out with X amount of money in the bank and turn around and go back to Adelaide or go back home or anything like that. It was, So I think talking to other people about that sort of question, they'll head out with, say, 50 grand in the bank, and they'll see how long it is that they can continue travelling around for with that 50 grand in the bank. And then they kind of figure out where they're going to go from there. With us, with the oh crap button, so far, Jess, unless I'm mistaken, you haven't actually had to touch your savings for...
Not for travel.
Travel and day-to-day life and that sort of thing. Had to touch the savings to buy the Gold Stream back there.
Well, we both did.
But it's a case of living to our means. We will stop, we will work, we'll build that account up to have X amount of dollars in there. And then as that starts to dwindle back down, we'll start looking at when the next school holidays are, what small town we're going to be pulling into next. But we have gotten down to a couple of grand in the bank before when we've gone, we really need to work. Yeah. But we did have a little kitty on the side there, which is the emergency kitty. So we're never going to run completely out or anything like that.
No.
How long do you think you'll continue life on the road?
We have no idea.
No. How long's a piece of string?
Yeah. Until we get sick of it?
Yep. Or we find somewhere that we really, really, really have fallen in love with and want to stop and settle down. We've come across a lot of places that we could definitely see ourselves living, but then we kind of look at it and think, could we still love this place for what it is in 5 years' time or 10 years' time or anything like that?
Give us 3 years.
Give us 3 years' time to see if we still love it. At the moment it's still just a piece of string. We don't know how long we're going to keep going for, and we're still absolutely loving it, and we still want to take you guys along on all of our adventures as well. So, hopefully from here it's just onwards and upwards and continue going. Hopefully. Sorry, I jumped on your answer there.
That's okay. I didn't really have an answer for that.
Well, it's been answered, so.
Exactly. What competencies and training would you recommend for someone to have before heading off to make getting work easier?
Yep.
I would think at a minimum white card, anything else. And how many times have you had to do working with kids and police checks?
Working with kids, police checks, it's pretty much just a continuing thing for going to different places and getting different jobs.
Not necessarily. So police checks, yes.
Yes, police
Generally, people say every 6 months. Or if it's not current within 3 months, then employers like you to have it done again.
So basically
inconvenient.
Just go into a job with the expectation that you're going to have to do a police clearance. We've both got a working with children's clearance, and we just keep that.
Has yours updated?
Yeah, it's in application now.
So's mine.
So we just keep it updated just so that it's an ongoing thing that we've got our working with children's clearance.
And I'm pretty sure they last 5 years. Is it 5 years or 2 years?
I think it's 2 or 3. But you get plenty of notification via email and that sort of thing when it's expiring. So it gives you 3 months to update it. There's a 3-month update process. Competencies.
Which, hang on.
Yes?
That is actually a recommendation as a physio anyway. So,
I just choose to have it because I never know what job I'm going to end up doing, so it might be of benefit for me to have, pretty much. Yeah. What competencies would I recommend, and skills and training and stuff like that? Other than just the willing to learn and willing to get taught and shown how to new jobs, you should be fine. If you've got your white card, that's a bonus. If you've got your tickets for all your excavators and dozers and stuff, cool, even better.
First aid and
do your
CPR.
Senior first aid, do your CPR, and realistically, RSA, Responsible Service of Alcohol. If you've got that behind you, you can pick up a job in any state or territory around Australia doing bottle shop work or bar work or pub work, whatever it may be. And it's an industry that's still crying out for staff. Always has been and always will be.
Although just be careful because some trainings don't do nationwide.
Yeah, so we've got 2 RSAs. We've both got 2 RSAs. One covers certain states and territories and the other one covers the other. But you can do them online. Yep. You don't have to go in person or anything like that to do RSA. You can just do it online, nice and simple, nice and easy. Yeah, I mean, just have an open mind and you will get work, no dramas.
Yeah.
And if it sounds silly, but if you don't like the job, you're only going to be there for a short period of time. So just suck it up, get in, do the work, make the most of it, and head on off afterwards.
I think that's what's helpful as well, is that we know we're not there for long.
Yep.
So do the employers.
Yep. But to be honest, so far, everything that we have stopped and done, we actually quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
We enjoy the challenge of learning something new and doing something different. It's really quite fun.
Yeah. I think that's it.
I think that's most of the questions covered off.
Yeah, but of course, if you do have any other questions or we didn't cover something or you want more detail, please write in the comments. Let us know.
100%, yeah.
Or send us a message.
Yep. If you don't want it to be public, just send us an email. We'll put that down in the link down in the description below as well. Yeah, look, we're open, we're transparent, we're honest, we're all that sort of thing. So if there is something, like as Jess said, we want to tell you guys, we want to help you guys. We're not here to hide anything.
Except for our funds.
We're not going to go into specific dollars, but we've never, yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
We're not rich, we'll put it that way.
We never claimed to be.
No. Look, guys, we hope you've enjoyed the episode. It is something different from us, but we just wanted to cover off all of the stuff that everybody asks us in regards to funding adventures and how we fund our adventures.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Please give the video a like. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next week when we go back out and do some more adventures.
Yes. Good fun.
Bye for now.
Bye.
I kind of feel lost without the screen.
Let's do one more button up.
Okay.
Love your chest hair and all, but you need one more up. And we will also... I forgot what I was saying. I was going to say it, and we're going to answer some questions.
Yes.
That was what I was going to say.
Yes. What competencies and training would you recommend for somebody to what competencies... English.
What about this one?
Good to read English. Oh, okay. We'll do that one.
Yeah, that's easier to say. So this one that you were trying to...
Yep.
I can see why you had trouble
Thank
with
you.
it. Okay.
Thank you.